Oh my god, the Fuji fans are going to love this one. Take a look at this. We have the Nissan i40 Speedlight. What can it do with the Fuji X-T10 and X-T1? High speed sync at 1/4000th of a second. Before I show you the trick, there's a little magic button dealie that you have to do on the Nissan i40. Very nice, holds 4 AA batteries, does TTL manual, very simplex flash, but also very well built. Let's take a look at some test shots. And here we go. Now there's my ugly self that someone took of me. But if you see down here, this was using the 56mm f1.2, 1/4000th of a second at f1.2 at ISO 1600. And I think the power setting on the flash was at like 1/16th power, I believe, or 1/32nd power. And let me roll over to some other test shots. Here we actually increase the power a little bit. Here you can actually see the depth of field. This was shot at f1.2. Another shot of a guy behind the counter at the camera store, 1/4000th of a second at f1.4. I was standing about, I don't know, 12 feet away or so at like 1/32nd power at f1.4 ISO 1600. See, take a look at some other shots that I did. I was experimenting with the flash levels. 1/4000th of a second, f1.2 this time, and even though his background is only about 2.5 feet behind him, you can see we got a really nice f1.2 shallow depth of field. So I'm actually standing about 8 or 9 feet away from him, a little bit overexposed, but I was actually testing the flash out, make sure that it was working vis-a-vis the magic trick. Works perfectly every time. Fuji X-T10, Fuji X-T1 at any shutter speed. 4,000th, 2,000th, 1,000, anything. Crank it up, 1,000, 2,000, 4,000, not a problem with the Nissan i40. High speed sync, yes baby, yes. Now, you see, I don't know if I actually had, I was doing some various experimentation. There's 1/1000th of a second at f3.5, and that was using the 27mm. ISO 1600. Also did a bunch of shots at ISO 400 at about 12 feet away at half power and full power. But it works. I mean, I just proved to you that it works. So what is the trick? Now, I was reading instructions from someone else that actually mentioned this, and I thought it was the power on and off button, which is obviously power on and off button. Holding it down for 3 seconds, but that's not it. Now here you see we have the blinking manual light over here. You have to actually put this in manual. Okay, this is just your power output setting. So L power output is not going to be TTL, 1/16th, 1/8, 1/4, 1 second, 1/64th, 1/28, whatever. So you have to set the power manually. That's not an issue for me. I've been doing that for over 20 years. Not a problem. The fact that you can do high-speed sync at 4,000th of a second or 2,000th, whatever you want, that's awesome. So the way you get out of that is this is a button over here. This is actually, if you actually hold it down for just a second, that's a test button. Now you see the blinking button. I'm going to hold it down for 3 seconds. 1,000, 2,000, 3,000. You see that went to normal? This is how the flash is out of the box. When you buy it, when you turn it on, okay, there's manual. There's TTL. You see this light comes on over here. If I turn it to manual, then this light comes on over here. This is manual power output settings. Okay, you don't have to change anything here. What you have to do is when the unit's on, okay, you're going to hit the test button, hold it down, 1,000, 2,000, 3,000. See it's blinking now? Now this unit will do high speed sync, baby. Yee, 1/4000th of a second. You can use this as a slave. It holds 4 AA batteries right here. Even though it's made in China, it's a Japanese company, this is actually incredibly well made. It is kind of pricey at $269. Yeah, it is kind of pricey, $269, but it's full TTL. Just having a nice TTL speedlight with your Fuji is wonderful. Now, I'm a hardcore against on-camera flash use, but all you have to do is the Fuji is a Canon pinout, okay? Canon pinout. So what you need to do is buy an off-brand cheapie, go on eBay. I'll give you the link for it, like a $20 off-brand cable. So you can plug it here, the cable goes over to the base of here, so you can do off-camera TTL, or importantly, very, very importantly, as we're blinking here, we've entered the magic mode. where I'm holding down the test button for 3 seconds to turn it on. Now when you turn the unit off, it will remember that. So if you forget and you turn the unit back on again, it will remember that it's in magic mode, as I've called it. It's still blinking. To get out of that and go to normal operations, hold it down for, actually, I don't have fingernails long enough. Here we go. 1,000, 2,000, 3,000. I didn't hold it down. There we go. 1,000, 2,000, 3,000. There we go. My fingernails aren't long enough. If you buy a Canon pinout, means, see, the Nikon pinout is different than a Canon pinout. You can't use a Nikon cable. You have to use a Canon pinout cable. You can do off-camera high-speed sync with your Fuji X-Pro2. I tested it also at the store with the Fuji X-Pro2. The new Fuji X-Pro2 also works. Works this with my X-T1, X-T10 here, my X-T1 right over here. High-speed sync. 4,000 of a second, whatever you want. And off camera. Not wireless, but off camera. High speed sync. That is the Nissan i40. $269. This one is for Fuji. You have to buy it for Fuji. And the part number is ND40-FJ. $269. Comes with a neat little belt pouch inside. Comes a little footsie, and behind here is a little diffuser for the diffuser head. So, high-speed sync for your Fuji. X-Pro2, X-T1, X-T10 does work. High-speed sync. It probably will work with some other Fujis, but I haven't tested it. If any Fuji will do TTL, any Fuji camera that will do TTL, then you can do high-speed sync with this unit. You should be able to. Turning the unit off. There we go. That is a Nissan i40. High-speed sync. Got it. Nailed it. Thank you for watching. If you like this video, you can drop me a buck or two. Or tell me to jump off a cliff. But this is the first video on YouTube showing you, as proof positive, that high-speed sync is absolutely possible. 1/4000th of a second right there, baby. Perfect every time. I was experimenting with flash levels. That wasn't dark. It was just I was experimenting with flash levels and distances. I was creeping up and back. And there's my ugly puss. 1/4000th of a second. F12. Flash fire, baby. You see that shallow depth of field at F12 with the 56mm Fuji? Got it. Thanks for watching. Bye.